The red light, we got the recording light on. Yeah. We're recording quiet on set. That means you. Hi.
Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is March 29th, 2025, and this is episode 130. And if you've been following along for a while, you'll know every 10 episodes, my lovely husband, Mike, joins me on the podcast. Or
Send
vlog,
help.
or whatever you call this.
I mean, thank you. I am here of my own free will.
Did you read the whole card?
Oh, and my wife is incredibly talented. Oh, I wrote that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she is. I mean, you guys know this because you watch her podcast, so
And if
she's
you
amazing.
haven't watched before, welcome.
Yeah, welcome, guys.
Welcome. I hope you enjoy this corner of the internet, this crafty corner of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you very much to returning viewers. Always enjoy chatting with you in the comments and on Discord and Instagram.
Absolutely.
My name is Roz, and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada, with my husband
Mike.
and our two kids, who are 15 and 13.
And their names are, I can't remember actually.
Yeah, they're not here right now.
No,
so.
it'll come up later. Yeah.
I wanted to say thank you to anyone who has supported the podcast lately. Even just hitting the like button down below, subscribing really helps me get more views, which is awesome. Today for you, I have finished objects, works in progress, and books. So not a lot, but
Not what am I wearing?
no, I'm not wearing any knitwear.
Okay. That's
Oh, we can do what are we wearing? You're doing it.
Oh, Lexi, what are we wearing? Ooh!
But I always wear
So
handmade
these
socks.
guys are is Boba Fett design. Is this Erin's colorway?
Nope, this is
Oh.
mustache yarn.
Sorry, Erin. I'm sure she watches.
I'm sure she does.
Sorry.
So Mustache makes perfect must-match sets of yarn, and they're 50 grams each skein, and they perfectly match. So if you start them at the same end, they perfectly match. And she has some really fun colorways, including a bunch of fandoms, including Star Wars.
Yeah,
So,
these are the Boba Fett ones, and they are amazing.
they are not called Boba Fett. They're called something else because, of course, copyright infringement, all that stuff.
Yeah, we can say whatever we want.
We can say what we
because-
want because we're just talking about stuff. But
And
she
this is
can't
for
call them-
educational purposes.
There you
I
go.
call them my Boba Fett socks.
Yes, that's true.
I think she called them the Bounty Hunter.
Yes, I
But
think so.
something like that, yeah.
And I will link to my project on Ravelry along with all the other projects that I talk about today and any other links to anything we talk about.
Wait, you keep
Down
track of
below.
all this stuff?
Yeah, in post.
What's a Ravelry?
That's the website I use to keep track of all my projects and my patterns. And there's forums for knitting and crafting on there.
Oh man, that sounds amazing. You guys should check it out.
Crochet. Yeah, if you're not on there, you should definitely check it out. Well, that's it for what we're wearing. Oh, my socks were.
Absolutely.
What pattern did I use for this? I think that was vanilla
It's
is
got
the new
stripes.
black.
That's what she
It's
did.
self-striping yarn.
Ooh.
Oh.
I know.
I think the pattern that I used is the vanilla is the new black. But it will be linked down below. And mine, I think, is the SOS heel, which is an afterthought heel. And this is the colorway is the first year that the Cozy Knitter,
Nailed it first time.
yeah.
Yep.
The Cozy Knitter did the Advent yarn. So it's 24 different stripes, self-striping yarn.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Yeah. I don't usually show my feet on the podcast.
Yeah, it's not. It's not that kind of.
No.
You know what?
You're not going to go there?
No, I'm not. I'm just.
All right.
You know.
Well, we can move on to finished objects.
Yeah, let's move on. What have you finished?
I have two.
Woo!
I know. I
love whimsical stuff, guys, so I'm very excited about these two.
If you've been following for a while, because I think I started these in the summer with the kids, we bought some Woobles kits. So these are learn to crochet kits, and you make very whimsical looking animals. And I was making a bunny.
No.
And it's even got a little pom-pom tail.
Nice.
I got sick of waiting for my children to work on it.
Can I see how the autofocus works on this?
Yeah. We have a new camera.
Yeah, well, we don't. You have a new.
Sure.
But here, I'm going to see if we can get...
Do I have to cover my...
Oh, wait, do I need to cover both of our faces? Maybe? No, you lean in a bit behind it and see if it becomes the only... Oh, it works.
Oh, it works.
There we go. Hi, everybody.
The bunny's coming at you.
Okay, well, so now we know, right? That's good. Now
There we go. And then it's going to focus
it'll
again.
take a second to...
There we go.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah.
Okay, so I finished the bunny. I had the egg shape I had done for a long time with the eyes in it. And then I just crocheted up the ears, did the little pom-pom, sewed on the little pink stuff, and called it good. So unfortunately, I never counted this yarn in my stash. So this is not yarn out of my stash. I know, right?
Wow.
I know, it's
Because
terrible.
if you don't yarn in, you can't count it yarn out.
Yeah, yeah. Because then it'll throw my numbers off.
Well, it's going to throw your numbers off
Garbage
anyway.
in, garbage out, right?
Although it's not like there's a lot.
No.
No.
And these are kits that I
are.
got, and then the next one that I did is this guy. He's so cute. We lean in.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, does it work? Yeah.
He's got a tail.
Good. Ooh, it's a trash panda.
His nose is like quite out there.
Yeah,
But when
it's-
you're face on, it's okay.
Yeah.
And he's got these beady little eyes in there. Yeah. Anyway, he's very lopsided. I was working on this while we were watching a movie, and I think I miscounted some, so he's kind of got a bubble butt. But-
He thick,
Yeah.
as the kids would say.
And I think I'm going to put some weight in the bottom of him so that he sits on Cooper's desk nicely.
It's already got enough weight in the bottom.
Anyway, they
donk.
don't really sit up very nicely because they're egg shaped, but there we go. 2 are done. I still have a whole bunch to do. Cooper was working on a strawberry, and Taylor was working on a little baby chicken.
That's their names. I was close.
You weren't even close.
Nah.
So I've got those 2, and then I think there's 2 more. There's a coffee cup, and I can't remember which ones, but I'm gonna knock all of those out because I'm sick of having the packages sit on the shelf.
Have you finished anything else?
No,
No.
just those.
I mean, she's got some whips that are getting there, but not quite yet.
Yes.
No
which means
spoilers, though.
We can move on to whips.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Yeah. I've only worked on 2 of my whips this week. We're gonna pause.
All right. Well, hopefully, we're not like
Totally askew.
askew.
We had to plug in. We literally went this afternoon to pick up this camera, so
Yeah.
we're still figuring it out. I'll make sure it's fully charged before I record next time.
We're gonna play with all the settings.
Yes. So this is kind of like the initial trial run to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Okay.
So whips.
Whips. I have only worked on 2 out of my current 4 whips.
Okay.
But I've made some progress on the hat I've been working on.
Ooh.
So this is another Musselburgh hat, which is a pattern by Isolde Teague, and it's a double thick hat. So you start at the crown of one, you knit down, and then you knit the other hat, and then you decrease, and then stuff it inside the other one. And I've made lots and lots of these. This is my 20th Musselburgh hat.
Is that why Isolde Teague is a name that I recognize readily? It feels like you knit a lot of her stuff, or are you just knitting a lot of the same pattern of her?
This hat.
Really?
Yeah, I knit.
Well, you
I
said
don't know.
20 of those, but
Yeah.
so you buy the pattern once.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good value.
It's good
right?
value.
I
I've
mean,
gotten good value. And
yeah.
she's updated the pattern so she's got numbers so you can figure out to do the brim in opposite colors and stuff. So you have measurements along and
Cool.
The other great thing about this pattern, if you haven't knit this before, is it can be done at almost any gauge yarn. So this is a light fingering weight yarn, but you could do it in a worsted weight. And she has all the numbers for all of the different weights of yarn and sizes from baby up to a very large adult.
So what about like that super thick yarn that Taylor has? Like the really thick stuff?
The
Could
like
you make
super
that?
bulky. You could, but had to have a double thick hat of that.
It would be like
It would just
huge-
like, it would stick out an inch off your head.
He would look like Toad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not advisable. Kind of worsted weight would be the thickest you would want, but
Make good choices.
yeah.
Yeah.
The yarn that I'm using, this is, I didn't write them down in here. This is some Knit Picks Stroll, I think, in the Alexandrite colorway.
How tight can this thing focus? Like, can we macro focus? Do you mind if I
Go for it.
Let's see if I can. How tight? It looks like it's macro focusing pretty good. Can you see?
Yeah, it's good. You can see the stitches. Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. I just want to, we're just trying things out.
We're playing
guys.
around. You guys are getting
trying things out.
You're getting the raw footage here of playing around. And I've just started the gray that I will use for the brim. And this will be the kind of color difference between the other colors that are going to be on the top here. So this is the gray. The gray is Boss Lady Yarn Co. in Mechanics Wrench. And this, oh, I'm so tangled. These are the two yarns I'm going to use. They're both knit picks. This is my oldest yarn, so I'm going to be using up my oldest yarn.
Oh, good.
And then these are some other leftovers I have.
Is this from the sweater?
No.
The teal and gray striped sweater?
No, this is much more like bright, vibrant blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I do have some leftovers from my striped sweater though. And then I've got this as well in case I wanted a third color in there. And you will never see the purple and green stripes with the blue because I'm putting the gray between them. So you'll see the gray folded up with this, or the blue will fold it up with the gray on top. So they don't have to match.
So my grandma always said blue and green should not be seen without a color in between.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that is a saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm making good progress on that. This is perfect for that mindless knitting when you just need to do something.
Wait a minute, you knit on that when you and I are having conversations.
Oh, sometimes.
Oh, my feelings.
Well, no, because I don't need to pay attention to it. I can pay attention to you.
Oh, so it's not that you're having a conversation with somebody who is mindless.
No.
It's that you don't have to think about it.
I don't have to think about the knitting. I just go round and round and round.
It's fine. It's good.
Okay.
Okay.
My other work in progress is in my lovely bag from Tracy.
Do you guys ever wonder how she doesn't stab herself in the eye? Like, these things are just like whipping around everywhere, and I'm...
Don't pull it out of the knitting.
Just okay.
There's a lot of knitting to pull out here.
I'm going to sit back for this one, just in case.
Well, no. So I have a sleeve.
It's a sleeve, guys.
I didn't have that sleeve before.
Beautiful.
And the other sleeve. And the bottom ribbing.
Oh, man.
So
that thing is
very in progress. Was not quite at the bottom of the sweater, and I think this one sleeve had been partially started, like a couple inches. So I've knit both sleeves and I've gotten to the bottom. I am really down to the wire with the yarn I have left.
Yeah.
However, this ribbing is, which is this little ball that's left here, is 22 grams, and the other two balls together are 30 grams. So I have a lot, actually, for that little bit of ribbing at the bottom. What?
Oh, you just said the two balls together, and then you started talking about ribbing. I'm just breathing through it.
All right.
I know, I'm the worsted.
It's fine. The audience loves it, honey.
Cool.
They love your hilarity.
I'm full of nonsense, yeah.
Yeah. So it's coming out really nice. I have only alternated skeins on this lovely hand-dyed yarn. When I changed colors, I did like an inch where they were blended together.
Can you tell me why that matters?
Because they're hand-dyed, and you can see there's variation to them. So let's go over a few of the details. This yarn is Fireweed Fiber Co. in her Cottonwood DK, which is 100% superwash merino yarn. And it is in the Frosted Heather colorway.
It is beautiful, guys.
But you can see, and you can see even more on camera, that there's variations to the color.
Yep.
But the way that Erin and Tristan dye the yarn,
way to get in the pod, Tristan. Well
don't get much pooling of color, because they do it in, I don't know how they do it, honestly, it's magic. Even in, like, often in the body of a sweater, you'll get kind of like that flashing where it kind of, it's like a darker triangle and a lighter triangle and stuff. But this, like, there is no, it's just you can see that there's variation, but there's no pooling to it, right?
Nope, not at all.
So, yeah.
And I love Heather.
Yeah.
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 It's really pretty.
It's a very different kind of purple than any of my other sweaters.
Oh yeah.
So I'm very excited
it's like
for it.
A dusty light purple.
Hopefully
it's really
next
pretty.
time I will have a finished sweater.
Yeah.
There won't be any more sagas. I did have to re-knit one of the sleeves.
I distracted her a bit while I was Marie Kondoing our house.
No, it was before that.
Oh, okay.
I thought, so I wanted the sleeves a bit wider, and then I thought I would just decrease the bottom half. But then the amount of decreases that I had to do on the bottom half made it, so it was like this, it was like rectangle, triangle, and it just looked really funny.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
Yeah, so
where
you have to do even decreases all the way down, or do what I did. No, I did a bit of a balloon at the bottom, so you see how it kind of.
Yep.
So they're going to be looser, and then I just decreased rapidly before I did the cuff.
But that's intentional.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's not in the pattern. In the pattern, it's even decreases right from the armpit down.
Yeah, I like a tighter sleeve, so. But
yeah. Well, I thought I would try something different, and if I don't like it, I can rip it out and do it again. That's the beauty of knitting, right?
Absolutely.
And the pattern, because I haven't said those notes yet, is called Favorite Flannel, and it's by Alicia Plummer. I've knit a couple of hers. The Ease sweater, the gray marled one that I have, is also from her collection. And yeah, very well written pattern. There's lots of sizes in it. And the stitch pattern, now that I'm done a whole sweater in it, it's like whatever row I'm on, I know exactly when it's coming. I didn't have to keep track of my rows. Like, okay, I'm on a row 2. I have to know where I stopped. Like, I can read it now and keep it going. So
great. I
did have to rip back a couple times because I'd done too many rows before the pattern row.
Oh, okay.
But not recently.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes you just get zoned out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's everything about my sweater. Do you have any works in progress?
I am a finished good. If you could kind of scoot your head that way a little more. So those of you that have watched, Roz often sits in front of the bookcase. You get to see. We had some pictures up here. You'll notice there are 4 canvases there. So those are 4 canvases of the kids for the last 15 years, broken into 3-4 year chunks across. And that's something I've been working on for a while, building out those pictures and getting the canvases made and getting them up. And,
because we have big picture windows, which you cannot see behind us.
Yep.
The glare gets really bad on anything that has a glass in front of it. So that's where we went with the canvas.
We had some poster-sized pictures that I'd taken that we had framed, which are beautiful, but they were always in some, like, see this one up over here, in some stage of reflection. So it's nice to have the canvas. I think it works well.
Yeah.
And that's outside of the house, which I'm going to talk about when we get to books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I actually have a next on my needles that I didn't put in my notes, so I forgot about it. But
hot off the presses. Yeah, let's talk about it. This is great.
Okay.
This is why I made myself a coffee, because you never know what's going to happen on these
how long
things,
you're going to be here. So we're going to, one of your cousins is getting married in July.
She sure is, yeah.
And well, it is going to probably be 35 degrees at this outdoor wedding.
Yeah, Celsius, which is 100-ish, a lot.
It doesn't start until later in the afternoon, and I'm guessing that it will go into the later evening.
Well, for us it will, at least.
Yeah. Dance all night.
If there's an open bar.
I don't know. I do know there is an after party after the winery.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So I have a floral dress that I've picked out to wear to the wedding. I do, yeah.
It's nice.
And I will put a picture of the dress in here. And I was just randomly poking through yarn the other day, and this yarn, which looks really white on camera here, is actually a kind of creamy ivory color, is actually the exact color of the flowers in the dress.
Oh.
So I'm going to knit myself a cardigan before July 12th.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have 2 options for the patterns.
She's got 2 options, guys. I'm going to get you a little closer here so you can see if the color comes out when I get in a little bit further. There we go. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Mm-hmm. It kind of makes me want ice cream.
Yeah, yeah.
Vanilla ice cream.
Yep, it's very like a vanilla color.
Although I like the vanilla bean.
Okay.
So it'd be
So the first one, and I'll put pictures up on the screen. So the first one is called the Granny Smith Cardigan by Melissa Whirl.
Sure.
Sure. So it's an all-over lace pattern, nice picot edging, very delicate looking. And then the other one, if I can find it here, is called Casual Lace, and it's by Justina Lorkowska. And it is, again, the body of it is an all-over lace. The sleeves are a stockinette. It's a little more casual. It's called Casual Lace. But I think both of them would be a good option. It's just like a light something to throw on.
And come on back to the next pod to find out if she chooses Cardi A or Cardi B.
Yeah, well, and if you're watching before...
That was a music joke for the 3 people who got that. Anyhow, so just before you go on, can you tell me the difference between regular lace and Oliver lace? Like,
So-
is it like...
No, I'm saying that like it's all over the,
all over
the
lace.
cardigan, as opposed to only like a lace panel.
I thought
down
there was
the
like an
front.
Oliver lace, like houndstooth or something like
Oliver,
that.
not
yeah,
all
or like you
over.
twisted it.
No,
That's a book joke for those of you who are paying attention.
And the yarn that I flashed at you earlier is from Alan.com, which is no longer. They were a Vancouver company that
really?
I bought a bunch
them.
from.
Yeah.
And this is their Peruvian baby silk. So it is 80% baby alpaca and 20% silk. There is a bit of a halo.
So it's like yarn
to
deal?
it. Yeah.
But they don't hurt the alpacas, right?
No,
Like,
they
like to get
shear them.
But do they like that? Like, I like to get sheared,
Yeah.
clearly, but...
No, they do it in the springtime so that they can
Okay.
enjoy the summer without any of the wool on, or the not wool.
And the impetus for the older yarn is this is something you're doing on purpose.
Yes.
I assume you've talked about this on other podcasts.
Yes.
But,
So this is a goal of mine for the year, is to use up some of the oldest yarn in my stash. And I was going based on when I put them in Ravelry, because that's where I keep track of everything the most.
Yeah.
This is definitely near the bottom. It is not the bottom, but it's definitely one of my older yarns, because I think I bought this when we lived in Vancouver,
Yeah.
which was almost 20 years ago.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Time flies, guys.
But I have plenty of this yarn. They're 25 gram balls, but I think I have 12 of them or something.
Looks more like a donut than a ball.
I know, it's got like a hole in the middle. I have a lot of them. Maybe I have 20 of them.
What, seriously? Of that
Yeah.
color?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I have...
I guess you'll need a lot for a cardigan, right?
Yeah, like... I'll probably need about 1,200 meters, and this is 100 meters.
You can expect, after you've got it, for me to make reference to the Dumb and Dumber pullover. No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Perfect.
Movie reference.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep going with references.
So that's next on my needles, along with all of the in my head plans that I have for teacher gifts for the end of the year. Because
we're getting
Taylor
there too.
will be, this is Taylor's last year at middle school, so
Yeah, we'll be 2 high school kids.
yeah,
September.
Yep. So, but she has a few very special teachers that I will make kind of bigger gifts for, because it's been 3 years that she's been at that school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so
what do we
those
got-
are
What do we got next, Roz?
I know, books.
Books.
All
right. Sorry, that clap was probably loud right in Mike's mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Oh
Since
my
I've
goodness.
been talking.
We can dip back and forth
Sure.
if you want to. I've read a lot since we last spoke, guys.
Well, 10 episodes, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have read the entire catalog of Jane Austen. I read all of her books, or listened to all of her books. And just sort of quick feedback. I think she was attracted to one of her cousins, because every one of the female leads is chasing after a cousin who's a vicar.
Yeah.
So
I think she had a thing for vicars.
She's got a thing for vicars and cousins and that kind of stuff. It was good.
It was probably a lot of the same to listen to them all.
It was a lot of the same.
Like, I'm sure some of it is kind of blended into each other.
I liked Northanger Abbey more this time through the catalog than I did before.
Okay.
Like, it's up there with Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility.
Yep.
Mansfield Park was kind of meh. But it was, so anyhow.
Okay.
It was interesting, and
Yeah.
I thought it was fun to do, and it's something I'll definitely do again. I finished the ACOTAR series. I didn't read the one at the end that's basically porn. Sorry, guys.
It's Nesta's story. It's not.
Nesta
So
and Cassian. I'm a Cassian fan, like Nesta,
if
because
you haven't read A Court of Thorns and Roses,
spicy.
there's a trilogy with a novella at the end.
Yes, and that's where I stopped.
Which is they call it book 4, but it's really a novella.
yeah.
And then they call book 5, like definitely there's characters that you would only read book 5 if you've read the trilogy. You wouldn't necessarily want to read it on your own, but you don't have to read it. You can just read the trilogy, and it is a package of
Yeah, you
its
don't
own.
need to read the fourth novella.
Silver Flame. Yeah.
Silver, yeah. But it was good. I enjoyed it. The first book was a bit, it took a little bit to get going. I really enjoyed the second and third books. I thought they were written really well. I tend to like, this probably goes without saying, but I tend to like female characters that are written by women. And we were actually just talking, coming back from dinner, because we had a bit of a date tonight after we picked up the camera, which is good. But I was saying that that Feyre at times feels like a woman written by a man, and I don't know if that was intentional.
Yeah, and I think
she makes that, the way that she describes things. It's I don't know.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
Because I've read some of Sarah J. Maas's other series, like Feyre's character is definitely different than the other female protagonists that she's written. So I think she did it on purpose and to make it a bit more of a mainstream read to get people into her
There's
world.
a lot of homage and like love letter stuff to fairy tales in the books.
Yeah.
And so she does feel much like a fairy tale heroine, like this self-rescuing, but still constantly making the same kind of mistakes. And she's 19 through most of the books.
Exactly.
So I was an idiot when I was 19.
Weren't we all?
Yeah. Which is funny. Talking about female characters written by females, my favorite book that I've read since Red Rising, which is maybe my favorite, it's in my top 2 favorite books ever, has been, and I brought it with me, Tress of the Emerald Sea, right here. Where's Tress? Right there. This was beautiful and wonderful and whimsical, and I loved it. If you haven't read it, the best way I can characterize it is a gender-reversed version of The Princess Bride, which is one of my top 5 books. I love The Princess Bride. But where, in The Princess Bride, where Wesley disappears, but Buttercup doesn't go after him. And so in this case, it's the other way around, and she, the heroine, goes after him. And this is a female character written by a man, Brandon Sanderson, who is currently the rock star of fantasy. This was one of his special projects. I think he wrote it in 2020 or something like that for his wife. For me, it feels a bit like Terry Pratchett wrote a love letter to The Princess Bride. If you like nautical fun, so think Dawn Treader.
Okay.
Just real fun. They're on the sea. I'm not going to say on the water because read it. But for real, guys, it's whimsical. It's pretty. It's heartfelt. I laughed out loud many times. I listened to it in the car, and there were times where I paused the book and called Roz because I was laughing so hard. I had to tell her about how amazing
I've not read
was.
it yet. So, but this is in the Mistborn world, yes?
It's in the Cosmere.
In the Cosmere, sorry.
Yeah. So are most of his books are in the Cosmere,
Right.
but this is a one shot.
Do you have to know anything about the world before you start this book?
Not at all.
Not at all. So you could just pick up this book and read it.
He has recommended this as an entry point into the Cosmere if you want to get into it. It's different than his writing on Mistborn, which I actually loved that series too. But it's like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 for me.
Right.
But this was 10 out of 10. It gave me everything I wanted. I loved it from start to finish. I listened to it and then I went out and bought it because I loved it so much, and I'm going to buy a special edition of it too. I will reread this because I want to take this one and mark it up. There's so many great quotes. Because
you don't usually annotate your books.
I don't, I know, but I want to mark it up.
Yeah.
I really do. I just loved it that much.
Good. Well,
I know I shouldn't talk about this for like an hour, but I absolutely loved it. And I'll move on, I promise. But if you do have any questions about Tress, or if you noticed cool references to other Cosmere things in the book, which I did, because I've read only the first trilogy of Mistborn, so I'm not a Brandon Sanderson head at all.
We're diving in, but we're slowly.
I need to get into Way of Kings and go through that. I've just got Alloy of Law, so I can read the second trilogy in Mistborn. But yeah, so if anybody wants to talk to me about Tress the Emerald Sea, I'm down. And please take my recommendation. And if you don't like it, then you're wrong. It's just the way it is. There's something, like some people didn't love Red Rising. They were like, oh, I didn't love the...
Yeah, right. It's like, there's some intensities in there that are not for everybody.
And there's like bro stuff that if you don't understand that it's written as more of a sarcastic or a... anyhow, whatever. Yes. If you didn't like this one, again, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And then the other... I've read a few other things too, but... the last one I'll talk about is Marie Kondo's book about tidying up. It's a super quick read. It's great. I haven't read nonfiction in a million years. I used to be a nonfiction snob in that I was like, why would you read this?
Why would you read fiction?
When you could go and get real skills out of a book. My time is worth too much blah, 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 all this kind of nonsense.
And I've always read fiction. Every night before I go to sleep, I read.
Yep.
And it's never... Like, I will read nonfiction, but my, evening reading has always been fiction.
Yeah, like we read Love Languages, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Like
but I wouldn't do it as I'm falling to sleep. I would.
No.
I would, sit during the day and read it if we had time.
And so this was in my Audible library, and I thought Roz had bought it, and because we share...
An Audible account.
We share everything.
Yeah.
Our lives. Oh, that was interesting. Anyhow, and I thought Roz had bought it, so I'm like, oh, she's listened to it, I might as well. And it was
I might have a long time ago.
And I'm trying to get my numbers up. So it's a 4.5-hour read. Let's bang this out. And it really connected with me. Mm-hmm. It was cool. It's super simple.
I've read it before.
And it was like, just do this thing. And so I'm like, okay, I'll do that thing. And I'm a pretty organized person. I do not like clutter. No. I like this to me isn't clutter. This to me is a shrine to the books that I love, and then the kids that I like as friends. No, I guess we love them, but no, it's I don't like clutter, and so it's been great.
We have some things. They're not just books on these shelves, but they have a significant memory and a significant experience associated with them. Yeah. And when they don't bring up that, memory, but they don't bring up that same feeling anymore, we're happy to move on. Yeah. As well.
Yeah. And so we lived a lot of the principles, and there were a lot of chapters that didn't apply to us because we're just not. I think she's writing it for a large range of people, anywhere from hoarder to I need to tidy up a little bit. Yeah. We're certainly on that spectrum. I think a little bit closer to the pretty tidy to begin with, but it's been interesting. Yeah. Going through the clothes, I'm pretty fastidious about only keeping things that bring me joy. Mm-hmm. But just changing the way that I fold my shirts and stuff. And actually, funnily enough, shout out to Andrea, if you're watching, because you and I talked about this a long time ago, and so I actually sent her a picture when I'm like, look at my drawer. You can get so much more in your drawer. Now I love doing laundry anyway, but I do love looking and just being like, I want this one. Mm-hmm. It's very nice.
And we were talking about that today because I did my t-shirt drawer today, and I pretty much wear it. So I have like 2 of these gray t-shirts. They're exactly the same, and then I have a black one, and I wear them constantly because they're on the top of the pile.
Well, I said to Roz, I'm like, because when she took all of her clothes out, I'm like, this section over here is the stuff that I've folded, and then the rest of it is just I never see it.
I have this really cute like navy and purple striped shirt that fits me great, and I just never wear it because it's at the bottom of the pile and I never think to. And now I can see everything.
Think like super cute Cheshire cat stripes.
They are a little bit.
They are a little Cheshire, but it looks adorable. Yeah, and I love that sweater on you.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was gone. But yeah, when it's stacked, you can't see
Yeah,
things.
you can't see it, and you don't know. And
you know, like when we went to see Captain America, I wanted to wear a Team Canada jersey. If you're listening in America, you're cool. But I wanted to wear a Team Canada jersey to Captain America. It's just a bit of a, you know, because
that is the current climate we're in.
Our neighbors to the south aren't being great to us right now. And I couldn't find it.
No.
So I was like, oh, I must have got rid of it. And then I was just going through
We've been
something
going
downstairs.
through
It was
everything,
in
and
my
it was
winter
there.
winter gear that never got brought out in the winter this time. So now everything's out. And if I own it, it's out and it's there. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so good book.
Yeah, it is good. And,
I'm going on way too much. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. Well, no, it is, but it is good, and it is good that you and I are both on the same page about that kind of stuff too, because it makes it easier. We're not fighting each other on what's staying and what's going.
And very much it was, I took this on as a personal thing.
Did it.
It had nothing to do with anyone else.
Weren't making
I didn't go into anyone else's stuff.
The kids are doing their own thing. Every 6 months or so, we do go through their closet and drawers and like get rid of stuff that they're not wearing anymore, that they've grown out of, because, you know, kids grow like weeds and all that kind of stuff. So, and as the season changes, if we think it's maybe will fit next year again, then we'll tuck it away, because I do find that they get overwhelmed again if there's too many things in there for them to wear.
And then they just pick the same 3 things.
Yeah. And I mean, Taylor's 13 now. She's, you know, more discerning about what she wears and doesn't wear. So.
But we should move on, because I know
will talk about my book. I know.
I feel like I could do an hour on books.
Well,
but
they know by now every 10th episode is a longer one, because we just get talking about things.
Roz will put in chapters and just Mike starts talking, Mike stops talking. You can skip over this part.
Well, I do put in chapters for each different section. Yeah, I know. So you can always skip through. But
so what were you reading?
I only finished one book since this last episode, and it's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This was a recommendation from Taylor, who's 13. She's read it. She's read the first book and is reading or about to read the second book. She has them all, I think.
I think so.
Or she got them from the school library. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And I listened to this on audiobook, and BBC actually did a really good version of it. So it's not a dramatized version, but they do have multiple actors do the voices. So it really helps you kind of keep track of who is who and who's talking. And it's all from the main character's point of view, Pippa. So it's all from her point of view. That's fine. But she does interact with quite a few characters. So it's nice to have that slight difference in voice that's not one actor doing different voices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's a narrator and all that kind of stuff. But it's not a dramatized version. There's still like he said and all of that kind of stuff. So it is an audiobook file, not a dramatized version. But it was really good, and it was available right then on my library. So that's on my library app. So that's what I listened to it. It was very good. I enjoyed the story. It's definitely written for the YA audience, but I enjoyed it a lot. I did not see the ending coming at all.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't want to spoil it, but because she's basically solving a 5-year-old murder. That's not spoiling it. That's the premise.
Murdered a 5-year-old?
No. Somebody murdered a 16-year-old girl 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. And
as her grade 12 capstone project, they call it an EPQ in Britain, but it's basically a capstone. The idea is that she's going to look at how social media influences investigations, specifically to do with murder, but really she wants to find out who actually killed this girl, because she doesn't believe the person who was accused of it did it.
And if you ever are married to a woman who's reading a book called A Girl's Guide to Murder, you'll...
A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
Even better, yeah. You'll realize quickly that you're just going to be, well, maybe I'm just going to be a good boy.
You are a good boy. But it was a very enjoyable book, and I definitely will read the next 2. I enjoyed the characters.
And a cool thing to connect with your daughter on.
Yeah, exactly. So. And every time I'd finish a chapter, I'd run out and be like, Taylor, this happened. And she'd be like, I know.
That was like when you read Mistborn and we were just you'd call me.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to have that
it's exciting.
connection.
To share those kind of things with people, right?
Yeah, and Taylor actually took my suggestion and is reading the selection by, I can't remember her name, Kiera something rather. It'll be on the screen somewhere.
Sure.
Anyway, that YA books.
Yeah.
But she hardly ever takes my suggestions.
This is on her TBR.
It's also on Taylor's.
I keep moving. She
Taylor's
has
in
a
a reading
physical
phase.
TBR, and so I keep, like, when she's not here, I'll move it up a book, so it's on there. But
Well, I might get to it before she does.
oh,
We'll
seriously,
see.
it's you have to read it. It
I
is
will.
so beautiful.
I will. I have hundreds of books on my TBR.
Yeah, it's been a tough, just with work in the world and stuff like that. It's been a bit of a tough go the past, and I very much needed something like this just to be fun. Anyway.
Yeah, entertainment.
Yeah.
That's what it is for us, is that entertainment value.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and by the time you get to the end of it, you're a different person, they're a different person. We've all gone on a journey.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, I think that's it for this week, unless you have anything else.
No.
No? All right. Good. We'll get back to our date night.
I'm going to have some frozen yogurt.
Frozen yogurt.
With Reese's Pieces on it.
I know, your favorite.
So good. I can't wait.
And I will probably have some cheesies. Hawkins cheesies.
Yeah, the good fire starters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Thanks,
we will see you guys again next time.
Yeah, thanks for watching the podcast,
Yeah,
guys.
don't forget to like and subscribe down below.
Yeah, all that. Crush that
Yeah.
like and subscribe button.
Totally.
Tell your friends. We are like 1 to 2 subscribers away from being able to quit our jobs and just do this full time.
No, we're not.
Sorry, we're 1 to 2 million subscribers away from being able to.
No, I do this for fun.
Yeah, I don't want to quit my job. I really like my job.
My job's all right. Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys again next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.